smell like a bitch. You're so smart, I try hard to gain some peace of mind. You're so right in your eyes, to pleasure point. I won't let myself become just like you. Pointing fingers, it's all you ever do. This time, this one's for you. This one's for you. The perfect way, you no longer exist, you're no longer in my
Welcome to AfterMat, your source for WWE PLE recaps. I am your host, the Secret Boss Cal, and alongside me, as always, I have my tag team partner, the EST, Delisha. What's going on, Delisha?
You know what it is. Another Monday, another recap.
Yes, yes, and today we'll be talking about Money in the Bank, which is probably like one of my favorites, if not my favorite, WWE PLE. Um, I kind of miss having it at WrestleMania. I know it started out like at WrestleMania as a thing at WrestleMania. That was cool. Now they made its own PLE, which I kind of rather have it at WrestleMania because like I enjoyed the fact that like you had 1 year until the next WrestleMania, basically to the next WrestleMania to cash it in. Now it's like before WrestleMania, like you have until they cash it in, which is kind of weird for me. But I've never seen a cash in. I'm hoping I'll see one at SummerSlam this year. Like, I mean, I've never seen one live, is what I'm saying. The year when I went to WrestleMania, uh, Dolph Ziggler cashed in the night after on Monday Night Raw. So like I think Alberto Del Rio beat um, Jack Swagger, and then like Ziggler cashed in the next night, not on WrestleMania, which kind of sucked. Um, but yeah, I do love the cashing, like the whole contract thing and cashing in. But like I kind of wish it goes back to WrestleMania so that it's around that time. Um, but I guess like then if they haven't used it by that night of WrestleMania, then it's gonna be cashed in. So I guess that's another thing. That's why they don't do it that way. Um, but what'd you think of the card? Like going in at the first, it was only four matches, and then they added one, through the midway through or whatever it was.
Yeah, I was actually pretty excited. I too really love Money in the Bank, just because it creates good, interesting intrigue around whoever has it. It can either be a launching pad for someone who hasn't been featured prominently, or it can be a way to increase someone else's cachet, so to speak, much like they did with like when Damian Priest had it. So I was actually looking forward to see how this will play out on both ends with the men's and the women's. I feel like it was um, a little bit less predictable. Well, yeah, I was there. I figured going in there was like a couple people that was like, oh yeah, they can get in, they can do this, they can get in, they can do that. So I kind of like that. When you don't always know what might happen. Even though I've said on previous occasions on this podcast, sometimes predictability isn't bad. But in like these type of cases, I like not knowing. Like, oh man, I wonder who's gonna get it, and like what are they gonna do with it afterwards, like that.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm always like, if whoever wins, usually the next person that they're gonna push next, unless you're like, who was it, like Mr. Kennedy and Otis, right? Those like two people who kind of got like screwed out of their Money in the Bank contract in a way, and I guess also Baron Corbin in a way. got like screwed out of it too, like immediately after getting it. But um, this is kind of like showing who they're putting the stock in. In most cases, they're showing who they're putting their stock in for the next whole year or something like that. Unless a veteran wins, and then they're probably going to be the title's probably going to be put on them because for like ticket sales or something. I don't know. We'll talk about that later when it comes to certain matches. But I guess we'll kick it off here. There was a pre-show match. The pre-show match featured, it was a tag team match featuring John Cena and Logan Paul against Cody Rhodes and pre-show Jey Uso. So, oh yeah, he's like one of the champions. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's WWE champion John Cena, and on the other side's World Heavyweight Champion pre-show Jey Uso. So, Delisha, I believe they're covering this match.
Oh, I don't know what it is about this
Bless you.
podcast. Every time I get on, it wants to sneeze. I want to sneeze. Or maybe because I'm not usually sitting in this area alone. I don't know. It's all the kid dust coming out. But yeah, this I know if for people who are confused, it was not on the actual.
It was in the pre-show. Anything with Jey Uso is always gonna be on the pre-show because that's what he is. Pre-show Jey Uso.
But we did start with Cody coming in, starting the match against Cena with a bunch of, I mean, not really yelling, but like calling him out for being, I guess, almost for calling him out for like being like not there, but like being the arbiter of ruining wrestling, so to speak, as Cena keeps wanting to call it. But we had a lot of like back and forth between those two. Honestly, there was a lot of big ebbs and flows in this match of like some spot that would get the crowd into it, and then we'd fall into like a little lull. But is kind of how John Cena matches go. He doesn't work pretty fast paced. Pretty similar to Roman actually, but he doesn't really do a fast paced match. You mainly would get that when Logan would come into the ring, whether it was opposing Cody or Jey. But Jay's, I feel like he spent most of the match getting beat up anyway, because they were doing your typical tag team of keeping one opponent away from their partner so that they could weaken them. Okay, no. All right. But really the big things from this match was the drone shot, I guess you want to call it. As he hasn't done it in every match, but I guess it's now a Logan Paul signature, to where he would take a recording device, whether it be a phone, another camera, or the drone camera, anything with a camera on it, because of his YouTube celebrity status. Where he was on the turnbuckle and he like motioned for the camera to come over, and I suppose he was gonna do some sort of flip or jump off the top rope, but Cody jumped up, and I don't know if he did a Spanish fly or what he did, but because the camera view would shift as they went through the ring. And then I'm pretty sure Logan dropped it as he bounced over to the ring, because then you see like a different slam come over. I thought that was a really cool spot. And then another cool spot, which also involves Logan Paul, was his I think it was a sunset flip or moonsault from the top rope.
The outside, what's called like the acai moonsault or whatever from the
Yeah,
springboard.
I didn't know that's what they were calling it. Which, I mean, even though I don't think he lives in LA, but it was so perfect naming of that flip, because I was like, wait, did they just take acai onto the
I mean, it's been
table?
called that forever though, before Logan Paul. It's like a Japanese move. It's like the Japanese word.
I thought they were
not like I think I said acai, but I mean like acai, whatever it is. It's some Japanese word. Like,
okay, that's what I thought they said.
Yeah, not the fruit or whatever acai is supposed to.
Okay, never mind. Now I feel dumb. But no, I think that was like one of the first times I really like, or maybe I just heard it clearly that time. I don't know. But anyway, but that was a cool move. And then I believe, I believe Logan was out on the side along with, I think, with Cody. Um, because it was Cena in the ring who, I don't remember who the ref was, but he had the belt in his hand, which has now become his signature move since his heel turn, is hitting someone with the title belt. But he did not get to do that this time, as we had interference, outside interference from a hooded assailant. I think WWE has stock in black hoodies because everyone always comes out in a black hoodie. I don't know why the black one. I don't know. Uh, but and we turn to realize that it is our truth, who, if you don't know, was living under the wrestling rock over the last week. They were not renewing his contract, so he was supposedly leaving. And then we got the news that they decided to resign and re-up on that contract, bringing him back, much to the crowd's chagrin, because they have been saying we want truth at every wrestling event the past week. So they listened and brought it back, and which gave enough time for our quote unquote baby faces Cody and Jay to win. I think I remember texting you because the men's Money in the Bank was not the last match. I was like, oh, okay, something big is happening, because this is a non-title match with not that much big of a stake for it to be the main event. So we knew someone was coming out. Whether it was going to be, well, I don't think I expected Truth until I saw him. But I was thinking like Roman, or people were even saying Brock Lesnar, which I don't think he's coming back anytime soon, guys. Sorry. But yeah, otherwise the match was fine. Without that interference or something big happening, this would have been a letdown for a main event for me. Just because, like I said, there was no stakes. There were some cool spots in the match, and of course, everyone, well, not everyone, but of course, the crowd loves to chant for Jay and Cody, and they just want to chant Cena sucks just because, not because they actually think so. And people just hate Logan Paul. But oh, we did see some quote quote dissension between Logan and Cena. I guess Cena's trying to show him the ropes, not literally, but of being a superstar in WWE, and Logan, I guess, didn't want to listen. I guess that's what they were going, but I don't know if that's something they're going to play around with later on, or if that was just like a one-off thing they were doing in a match. But I did want to make note of it in case that does happen to become something, whether it be on Raw or maybe, I don't know why they would do it at Clash of the Castle, but yeah.
Yeah, I think that they're gonna set it up for one of those matches coming up on the PLEs, or one of that coming up before SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam's gonna be a bigger match fight, maybe Cena versus Cody, unfortunately. And I'll leave unhappy again, as I do most WWE PLEs. I leave unhappy when I go. So, yeah, that's gonna suck. But this match wasn't very good. It was pretty stupid. And anytime you have Cody or pre-show Jey Uso in a match, it's gonna be a pretty bad match, and that's what it was. The highlight of the match, the person who stole the match, I believe, is Logan Paul, whether it be his moonsault to the outside, breaking the table, which is crazy. That was awesome. And also then like the drone segment that he had, not only just his entrance, I think it's one of the best entrances in the WWE at the moment. I can't think of anybody else who has a better. I mean, Penta's entrance is pretty cool, and Penta's shirt I actually am currently wearing. Penta's shirt. I don't know if you guys can see it. Um, I just thought it was a cool shirt. I'm not that big of a Penta fan. I think he's pretty cool, but I like him, and I like him and Ray Phoenix together as the Lucha Brothers. I like them together, but individually, I'm not really that much of a fan of. But I do think his entrance is pretty cool. But I think Logan Paul probably. I'm trying to think of anybody else who has a better entrance than Logan Paul. I mean, when the Bloodline came out together, that was probably the best entrance in wrestling for a while. But right now, I think like whenever Logan Paul shows up with that drone entrance, like, I think it's really cool. They did it a lot better this time. They actually coordinated where like he let it go and it went around the entire arena and came back to him when he got to the turnbuckle. That was awesome. And then he tried using it during the match, like you said, and like they left it in the ring. I don't know how expensive that thing is, but they left it in the ring after he got like. What if someone stepped on it? The referee actually, I watched the referee. They look at it like 3 times. So like, I'm like, why didn't the referee just like slide it out of the ring or do something with it, or they fly it out? Like they left it. I guess it's supposed to be like damaged or broken. But yeah, that was I don't know why.
The ref was like, if it is damaged, it's not going to be because of me.
I don't know. Like I thought this match was slow, like you said. The highlights were definitely Logan Paul. John Cena's heel turn, I think, ever since like The Rock, like I don't know, hasn't come back or whatever for that. It's kind of like made John Cena's heel turn kind of weird. I understand what he's trying to do and all that, but like it's not really doing anything for me. Like, I want to cheer for him as a heel, but I just can't. I can't even because it's just like not even fun. I don't know why my camera keeps messing up. Like, but yeah, it's just not fun for me. So I don't know. Like Logan Paul's like in this whole match, Logan Paul's like the one who actually had my like attention, and I think he stole the show. Obviously, R-Truth coming back was awesome. It wasn't really needed, but I can see why they did it to show to like have because Cody and pre-show can't win without any help. Usually they got cheap to win, so obviously they had R-Truth help him win. We're probably gonna see R-Truth versus John Cena again, or maybe some other type of match like that. But after the match, it was stupid because they had like a thing for Cody to talk and say thank you for like welcoming me back, like as if they wouldn't welcome him back, which is stupid. And then like Jey Uso looked very sad after the match and looked very dejected. And like Cody's like, oh yeah, like you're gonna beat Gunther tomorrow. Everyone believes that you tell us that one word, and then everyone does that stupid geek thing, which Logan Paul actually made up, so which is kind of ironic. But Jey Uso still looked very sad. He wasn't like anywhere into it. So most likely he's going to lose tonight.
That's what I was gonna say. Is he gonna lose?
To Gunther. If not Gunther, he's most likely. I think he's gonna beat Gunther, or he's gonna like. It's gonna be some kind of disqualification or something. Like he's about to beat Gunther, but then Gunther like hits him with a chair, keeps like doing or chokes him out. I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's gonna be laid out, and then I think the men's winner of the Money in the Bank will come in and cash in and be the new champion. I'm hoping for that because this has probably been this is probably the second worst title reign we've had recently, second to Cody Rhodes being champion. This is the second worst title reign we've had in a while. So yeah, but I've noticed since like I haven't really noticed until like when Sasha Banks and Naomi were the tag team champions at that WrestleMania, and they're losing, and then remember they threw a tantrum afterwards. But I've started watching like champions going into a match and how they act, and I could tell that Sasha Banks and Naomi are going to lose that night because the way they acted prior to the match. So now if you watch carefully, you can see if like you can kind of tell like they don't do the same type of like panache on their entrance. They don't have the same type of flair on their entrance. If you watch that carefully, they're probably going to lose.
I was gonna say, speaking of flair, she's usually a good well, she doesn't lose often, but when she does, you can usually tell.
Same thing. If you watch Joe Hendry, when Joe Hendry lost on NXT, he acted differently. He didn't have the same like happiness in his entrance. Like I'm not that I watch Joe Hendry enough, but like the 3 times I saw him, the way like he was so happy at WrestleMania. He was so happy like the first time he showed up in NXT, the second time he showed up in NXT. But when he lost at whatever NXT Great American Bash or whatever, I don't know, whatever it was, Heat Wave or I don't know what the hell it was called. The last NXT pay-per-view or PLE, whatever it's called.
I think it was Battleground.
Battleground. Yeah, whatever it was. He was like so unhappy coming in. I'm like, why does he look so sad? And then he ended up losing to Trick Williams. So I was like, oh wow, that explains it. So somebody else, this PLE we'll talk about, looked very not happy coming into the ring. And Michael Cole or whoever said that statement about this person kind of said, oh, they look very focused tonight, not their normal self or whatever. They said it as they were like announcing the, like in this corner, blah, 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 in this corner, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, why do they look not unhappy? Are they going to lose? And then they ended up losing. And I'm like, oh, yeah, well, it's been going on. So, yeah. Like, the way Jey Uso acted after the match seems like he's going to lose tonight. And I hope he does. Because nobody likes Jey Uso. He sucks. All right. The PLE actually kicked off with the women's Money in the Bank. The way the Money in the Bank works is there's a briefcase suspended from the ceiling of the arena. You have to climb up a ladder and grab it. If you grab it, you are the proclaimed Mr. or Mrs. Money in the Bank. And when you have the Money in the Bank, it gives you a guaranteed contract at any title of your choosing for 1 year to that date. So you can come in anytime you want, and just cash in that briefcase and that contract for a championship match of any championship, either the World Heavyweight Championship, the WWE Championship, whatever, the Intercontinental Championship, the NXT Championship, whatever you want, within your own, I guess, gender, because I haven't seen any cross-gender matches yet for this yet. So yeah, whatever that for a year, if you've got the briefcase, you can do it anytime once within that year. The participants are Stephanie Laquer, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Naomi, Rhea Ripley, and Julia. This was, I think, actually it was like 4 people's first Money in the Bank match, I believe. Stephanie, um, Roxanne, Julia, and Rhea Ripley, all first timers, and I think Naomi and Alexa have both been in 5, I believe. So that's kind of crazy. Well, the match started the 3 veterans, because there's considered 3 veterans and three NXT call ups, I guess. The 3 veterans being Naomi, Alexa Bliss, and Rhea Ripley, squared off against Stephanie, Julia, and Roxanne, who are the 3 NXT call ups, recent call ups, and they just went off after each other. There wasn't like, I don't want to go through the entire match because obviously it was one of the longer matches, but I'll just go over some of the bigger things. One of the cooler things was Naomi's outfit. I liked her. Like, she was clad in it was like caution tape, but it also had money like the bank stuff. Like, it was very like Naomi had the best outfit in the match, I thought. She looked really good in that outfit. I thought it was a really good outfit. As much as I don't like Naomi, like her costume tonight was very good. I liked it. Basically the OGs kicked out the newcomers, and then I think then Alexa and Rhea teamed up on Naomi, and then they gave each other a look and waved, and they're about to start to go at each other, but then I think Roxanne came in and started fighting them, and then there's a cool point where Naomi, I think, threw Rhea Ripley into the ladder, and then like I think it was Rhea Ripley, and then like Roxanne did like a moonsault onto it. That was pretty cool. Alexa Bliss countered. Alexa Bliss then threw Roxanne onto the ladder, and then Naomi came at her, and Alexa countered it and put her onto the ladder, and then she did a rolling senton onto the ladder to both of them, which is like the RVD's like rolling thunder kind of thing. That was pretty cool. Another time, Rhea Ripley and was put in between the ladder, and then Roxanne and Julia had trouble like slamming the ladder because one of the like whatever you call those things, the locks were in place. So like Roxanne was coming down, but Julia's was still up, and then like I guess Roxanne told her to get the lock, and then Julia hit the lock, and then they slammed it. That was pretty cool. Then they threw her Rhea Ripley out of the ring and kind of threw all these ladders onto her to like kind of get her out of the match because she's like one of the biggest threats. A lot of stuff happened back and forth. Nothing of big note until Roxanne finally turned on Julia, because pretty much the entire match, Roxanne and Julia were teaming up against everybody. But then Roxanne turned on Julia, and then Julia kind of threw Roxanne over the top rope, and then she was trying to skin the cat. But as she's trying to skin the cat, you see all the ladders like fly off, and Rhea Ripley comes back like the Undertaker from underneath all the ladders, grabs Roxanne and throws her like into the into the barricade or whatever it was. And then she hits Julia with a drop kick. A lot of back and forth action. Roxanne comes back to the ring, hits Naomi with a Shining Wizard into the ladder. That was pretty cool. What else happened? Oh, I think Rhea Ripley went for a power bomb or a Razor's Edge, and Roxanne like turned into her Karana onto the ladder, which kind of hurt Roxanne as well. It looked like it hurt Roxanne more than it hurt Rhea. Rhea also did ended up doing a Razor's Edge onto Roxanne, but she took Roxanne and threw her onto Julia, I believe it was. That was cool. I think what else happens? I think of anything else. There's a bunch of times when people climbed up and it was close, like, but people jumped off to help fight other people, so it wasn't like anything crazy. The probably the biggest one biggest pops that happened in the night was when Rhea was about to climb, but one of the ladders was stuck between the turnbuckle and one of the rungs of the ladder, so it was like perpendicular like this, and Rhea Ripley was trying to climb up, but Stephanie stopped her and then like did the devil's kiss onto the flat ladder and got a huge pop from the crowd. And then Stephanie started climbing up one side, and Alexa Bliss started climbing up the other side, and then Naomi stopped Alexa Bliss from climbing, and Rhea stopped Stephanie from climbing, and they started going back and forth. And on both sides, so the ladder's up like this, and they also have 2 ladders up perpendicular to them, stuck on the corner and in the rung. So at the same time, well, almost the same time, Alexa Bliss did the they called it
Code
Code Red, and I think it was Stephanie on this
Pop
one.
Rock.
Yes,
Yeah.
was it Roxanne or was it Stephanie that did it?
Rocks.
Roxanne did it. So she did Pop Rocks and Code Red basically simultaneously onto what do you call it? Naomi and Rhea Ripley, I believe it was. That was really cool. That was probably the moment in the match for me. And then she hit a sister Abigail onto Roxanne, maybe it was, and then Rhea Ripley hit the Riptide. But then Rhea Ripley and Alexa Bliss tried to climb the ladder. Naomi threw them both off the ladder and then climbed up herself, and she was all alone. And she grabbed the Money in the Bank. So Naomi is your Miss Money in the Bank. I know one person who was probably happy about that, and their opinion really doesn't matter on the show, but we'll ask them anyway. Delisha, what'd you think?
Of course, I was happy about that. I love Naomi. But also, if I want to take myself objectively out of the equation, uh, right now, as far as the women's go, she does have one of the more interesting stories going around. With her feud with Jade, and also has that involved with Bianca. And also adjacently with Naya as well, just because of the antithesis of her wanting to get the title back and stuff like that. But I mean, all signs point to her going towards the SmackDown title with Tiff. But they could always swerve and do something else and go after the Raw ones. But because you have a year to play around with this. But yeah, I was really happy. I think she was very deserving because they always use Naomi to put other people over. But now that she is getting this new character, darker character over, it gives a new wrinkle into what she can do with it, honestly. And I do like that one of her first tweets was to Bianca asking if she was proud of her. So it was like, you definitely know that those two are not done with this. I mean, it is kind of like a stalker angle, but more so like her obsession of being Bianca's friend or wanting to be Bianca's friend. Um, to the point where she tried to take out Jade still for no reason. Well, no, so she says it's because Jade was taking away Bianca's shine. But I'm actually really excited to see how they play around with this because I think she could make this pretty fun. I know you're not a fan of Naomi, you don't like this character, so I know this is not really what you wanted to see, but I do think they could have fun with it with a character. And plus, the Money in the Bank briefcase is a lot more fun on heels anyway. But I do think that she could play around. They could really let her like just go with it.
Yeah, I agree. Like I did say a few PLEs ago that Naomi was doing really well because she was like actually making someone like look really good. I remember saying that, and like she's definitely improved in the ring. But to me, she sucks. Like she can't talk on the mic. Like the whole thing with Bianca, that was a cool segment, but like the fake crying and all that between them, and like the whole like that was really cringeworthy. I thought that was terrible. Um, so like I'm not looking forward to Naomi being, but I'll give her until like SummerSlam to see how she is as a heel champion or heel whatever. This whole thing I'm not buying it either. Like kind of like I'm not buying Cena's thing. I'm not buying Naomi's like this character either. So it's not just Naomi. Like there's a lot of people who aren't like rubbing me the right way at the moment. Um, and she is one of them. And like I never really was a fan of Naomi. I felt like she's been doing a great job, like you said, putting other people over. Like she's amazing in the ring when it comes to putting people over like that. But when it comes to like personality and charisma wise and all that, like the best part of her is her entrance. I don't think she even has that anymore, to be honest. I don't think she has that where it goes like dark and they play that song that I used to like. I think she even has a different song now. So to me, it's like stupid. And like the most ironic part about this is she's probably gonna cash in at SummerSlam. And I was saying like I've never seen anybody cash in and watch the first person I see cash in be Naomi, and it's gonna suck because it's probably gonna be her beating Tiffy, and like it's gonna suck. And like I was happy for her when she first won, and she was like genuinely crying. It was like on a SmackDown or something. I remember that, and everyone was saying like you deserve it, you deserve it. And like I think it was a SmackDown, but whatever it was a SmackDown Women's Championship, I believe. I don't know if it was on SmackDown, but like that time I was like genuinely happy for her.
Yeah, I think that was Mania in Orlando, right?
Oh, maybe yeah. And then they interviewed her after. That's right. Yeah, so I was happy for her because I was like, okay, it's her hometown, and like she won finally for her first time. That time I was genuinely happy for her. But after that, like I was like, that was the high point for me for her. Since then, like she hasn't been, other than putting people over with the great wrestling matches, she has not been like anything for me. And I feel like this is gonna be a waste of Money in the Bank when he had, especially when he had such talent and like. I guess that they want to have like as much as I love Alexa Bliss and Rhea Ripley, I didn't want to see them win. I want to see one of the younger people win, like either Stephanie, Julia, or Roxanne. And I don't even like Roxanne that much, but like I'd rather have seen Roxanne win because I think she would have been very interesting with it because that would have made her more integrated into Judgment Day is what she's trying to do, So she could have kind of been like, she's trying to steal Dom from Liv, and she could be like, look, I'm Miss Money in the Bank, I could be the next champion, like I'll be higher than you with title wise kind of thing, like that would have been nice. That would have been a better story than. But I'm gonna give him a chance. I'm gonna give Naomi a chance to see what they do with her. But like I think Roxanne winning would have been more intriguing for storyline's sake. And I know you love your stories. If she got implemented into Judgment Day and had that Money in the Bank thing, and then you don't know if like Liv and Raquel will screw her over when she tries to cash in, and then Dominic gets mad at Liv. Like all this kind of stuff they could have done. And I know Triple H watches this and he's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm such an idiot. I should have called Cal and been like, got his input on this before I did this." But yeah, there you go. That's what should happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say Roxanne was like my other choice that I wanted to win too. So yeah.
Like for me, anybody besides like Naomi and Roxanne is who I want to win. So if Rhea won, I would have been happy. I would have been Julia won, I would have been happy. Stephanie won, I would have been happy. Alexa would have won, I would have been happy. No, it had to been. But then I've been content with Roxanne winning, storyline wise. The one person I did not want to win was Naomi, and unfortunately, she won.
And that's funny because I was the opposite. And it was not because I don't like them, but Rhea and Alexa were my bottom two of wanting to win, and mainly because Rhea has been in the main event picture for so long now that I was like, she's okay. Like she doesn't really need the briefcase. She's gonna be put in that upper echelon every single time. And Alexa is mainly because I have no idea what they're doing with her, honestly.
Exactly, this could have been something they're doing with her.
Would it? Like I don't know. But that was the only reason why. And then I think Stephanie she's probably going to be the one that wins this upcoming Queen of the Ring tournament. I think because she's so like hot right now, you gotta capitalize on that.
Oh yeah, then you got a title shot, right? That's a new thing where you get a title shot.
Yeah, you get a SummerSlam title shot.
Okay, well that's not bad.
So, yeah, so I think she might be put on that to be the counterpart for if Io might still be champion by then to probably go against Io, which I think will be a fun match.
Or Stephanie wins, right? Goes on to SummerSlam to challenge Tiffany and gets screwed out of it by Julia and Roxanne, right? And Julia and Roxanne are only doing that because they're helping Naomi to cash in that night, and that they start a stable together, like a faction.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could do that, but they with certain people they do try to stick to their own this brand type of stuff. Only not, I know.
I don't know who's on what brand. I had no idea.
Oh yeah, Julia's on SmackDown.
Oh okay, well, wait, isn't Naomi on SmackDown?
Yeah.
So then, what's the problem?
Because did you say Roxanne and Julia?
Yeah. Well, Roxanne's on Raw.
They're all on Raw.
Oh.
I mean, Liv and Raquel can go between brands because they're the tag team champions, but for the most part, Judgment Day is a Raw faction.
No, but Naomi can go between brands because she's Miss Money in the Bank.
Yeah, well, that part, yeah.
Okay, so then we'll go after Io. What? I don't know. I just don't know brands. I don't know what brands. Okay. I don't even know what brand John Cena is into. I don't know what brand John Cena is on. So everyone just switches anyway when it's convenient.
John Cena goes on John Cena. He's like Roman. He goes wherever.
Hey, what's going on, Entertain? Thank you for joining us. All right, let's go to the second match. The second match was for the Intercontinental Championship, featuring Intercontinental Champion Dominic Mysterio against, I was about to say Penta, because I would say Penta, but it's Octagon Jr.
just because they have a mask. No, I'm just kidding.
They all look like in a mask.
It was like black and red and stuff. So
I
yeah,
mean,
I
I,
understand.
I can show you. Look, you can look right there. It looks exactly like that mask right there.
But yeah, he was going against Octagon Junior, who I am not familiar with outside of the Worlds Collide event that they had the night before, and that's where this match stemmed from. Is because Dominic attacked him because he admired Ray, his deadbeat dad. That was why we got this match. But I thought it was a nice little cool down from the high profile match of the Money in the Bank, because this match I think was only like 5 minutes, if even that. To where you just got to showcase Octagon Junior's like high aerial offense, where he had a really cool uh what was it? Not 450. I don't know, but like a flip from that he like jumped from the side of the rope to the turnbuckle and then flipped on over to Dom. I thought that was pretty cool. But Dom did use his size and faction mate to his advantage to overpower Octagon Jr. And then we saw like Liv getting involved towards the end of the match to give Dom the advantage to get the 619 and get the win to retain his title. I don't think anyone thought Dom was going to like lose his title. Like I said, it was just a nice little cool down from the high octane event from the first Money in the Bank to ease you into the next match. So I think it was fine. Other than that, it was a good showcase of their new acquired talent from AAA for those who did not watch Worlds Collide. Otherwise, like I said, it's fine. It was fun.
Yeah, he did wrestle earlier in the day. Like they had the Worlds Collide PLE, which I thought was going to be on Sunday, but it was actually earlier in the day. They kept talking about Stephanie Vaquer wrestled 3 times in less than 20, I guess, in like about 24 hours. I guess she was on SmackDown wrestling, and then Worlds Collide, and then at Money in the Bank, which is crazy. But yeah, Octagon Jr. is cool. Like I said, I love luchadors. I always loved the cruiserweight division with luchadors in WCW. That was always fun to watch. So seeing these guys like was cool. I like at Worlds Collide. I mean, a lot of it was spoken in Spanish, so that like I didn't understand what was going on. Even though I do like speaking Spanish, like to understand things. It's spoken slowly, but they were going like it was really like like a native speaker was speaking it, so it was tough for me to follow it. But I like that Dominic cut his promo on Octagon in Spanish, like one is the ringside at World Collide, which led to this match, and it was very well done. If you really enjoyed this match, go back and watch Worlds Collide because that was an amazing PLE or whatever you want to call it. That was fun to watch, and especially the main event with Hijo the Vikingo versus Chad Gable. So yeah, like it was even though Chad Gable lost early in the evening, he still told his fellow what are they? I don't know what the team's called. Team Angle, whatever it's called.
American made.
American made. He was telling them to we gotta help El Gran Americano because he's gonna be wrestling tonight, so we should probably help him. So it's nice for him to, even though despite his loss, he was looking out for others and stuff like that. But yeah, this was a fun match. But if you really enjoy this, I really highly recommend going to watch the what do you call it? Worlds Collide. All right, the next match was for the Women's Intercontinental Championship, featuring the Women's Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch, with a stipulation where if Lyra won, Becky could not challenge for the Intercontinental Championship ever again as long as Lyra is champion. And if Becky won, Lyra would have to raise her arm. Yeah. So the match started out with as they're being announced by Alicia Taylor, I think her name is. Lyra just jumps Becky and starts beating the crap out of her, and just basically dominates the early part of the match until Becky hits a DDT on Lyra, and then just started going back and forth, and it's pretty brutal. It's pretty brutal. Like they're doing some stiff shots. I don't know if you noticed that, but there's a lot of stiff shots. But they know each other very well. They've wrestled each other several times. Lyra's never lost to Becky when it came to a championship match or any match, I believe. As far as I know, they're both Irish, so they know each other well. They're very well scattered for each other as well. But yeah, so eventually Becky was able to take advantage after the DDT and started coming back onto Lyra, but then Lyra was able to reverse it and hit a crazy. He took her to the outside, draped Becky onto the barricade, and then hit a very nice leg drop onto Becky, who was draped over the barricade, and they both fell into the ringside area. Then Becky rolled. Sorry, Lyra rolled Becky into the ring and was going for another leg drop, I believe it was. But Becky countered that into a power bomb, which was nice. Then they both went up to the top rope. Lynch, I think Becky was. I'm sorry, Lyra was going for a superplex, but Becky countered that into a manhandle slam. But Lyra kicked out. She rolled out of the ring to get some like composure. Becky followed her out as Becky went to go pick her up. Lyra hit the Nightwing on the outside, and they went back and forth until they knocked each other out on the outside. You thought it was gonna be a 10 count, but both wrestlers popped up at 9. Like they were like completely knocked out, and then at 9 they both popped up and like slid into the ring like right away. So it was by instinct or whatever it was. But yeah, that's what happens. And then they went for different pinning combinations. Eventually, Lyra went to the top, hit a superplex into a fisherman's suplex. From there, went for the pin, but Becky kicked out. And then she went for Nightwing. Becky reversed it. They kept reversing each other in different types of pins until Becky got the pin by holding Lyra's tights. And Becky is your new Intercontinental Champion. After the match, Becky had to raise Lyra's arm. And Lyra had to raise Becky's arm, and she did that. And then she started walking away, but Becky's like, no, you gotta do it on each side. And then she had to do it to each side, and then I think she had something else, but then Lyra hit her, punched her once, then hit her with a German suplex, and then a Nightwing, and then left. So, but what I was mentioning earlier was, if you notice, Lyra looked very sad in her entrance. She wasn't her normal happy-go-lucky self, and even Michael Cole or Pat McAfee, one of the announcers, noticed it. They're like, oh, she looks very focused today. She has no time to fool around. She's a big match or whatever. So like, not like any of her other title matches are big, you know. Like, I thought that was kind of stupid. And I noticed she looked very sad. I'm like, oh god, she's gonna lose and shit, because that's what seems to be happening. What'd you think, Alicia?
Yeah, I thought the match was fun. I think a lot of people kind of went in thinking, Becky was going to win, and they were right. I didn't quite like the very finish or how Becky won. It just seems kind of like a little bit lackluster. I know she's a heel, so grabbing the tights isn't, out of the realm of shenanigans. But I don't know, just the way that it just like, oh, okay. But I did think overall, I thought the match was fun, and they worked really well together. I don't know how much they had interacted before the NXT matches that they had, but they do work really well together, and you already know that this feud isn't done for sure.
I think Becky actually gave birth to Lyra Valkyria the same day she gave birth to her daughter. They both came out. She gave birth to 2 children at once. So, and Lyra just happened to because she's half Valkyrie, she's like just developed faster than the other child that Becky had at the same time, the same day. So, but yeah, I like Lyra. Like, she started growing on me. I wasn't a fan of her in NXT. I remember you talking about her a lot, and she wasn't a fan of. I don't think I liked her until I saw her. Was it at WrestleMania? Maybe it was. I loved her costume. Her costume she looked stunning, and that's what made me like start liking her. I was like, oh wow. I remember seeing her. Like, I can't tell if her face is like attractive or not, so I don't know if I can like her yet. Same thing with Julie. Like, I still can't tell if her face is attractive or not. Like I see her photos like that she posts on Twitter and stuff, and she looks hot. But then like I see her, and I'm like, I don't know if she's attractive or not. So I don't know if I can like her. So yeah, but yeah. So this is a good match. One of the better ones of the night. The main event was the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Like I said, if you climb to the ladder, grab the briefcase, you're entitled to title shot for 1 year, one year from that date. The people in the match included Max Dupree, Penta, Andrade, Solo Sikoa, Seth Rollins, and El Gran Americano.
Yeah, so this match started off with everyone ganging up on Seth Rollins because he pretty much called everyone out. I think on Raw and on SmackDown about how they will not beat him. Solo, he tried to play the let's all be friends here with I think it was like Andrade and Penta, and I think LA Knight was still in, I think, at this time. But then they also ganged up on him and threw them out. And then you get right into the action of just pure chaos when it comes to these type of matches. So some highlights. I think one of the ones that I remember right off the back was Americano Um, he like I don't remember who was trying to go for the briefcase, but he took a ladder that was on the floor, put it up against the turnbuckle, I believe, to climb up, and then like swing himself, not like off of ladder, like get himself over to the other ladder to climb up to to proceed to get. Like I said, I don't remember who was on top of the ring this time.
Andrade. I think it was Andrade or Penta.
Andrade. Okay.
Or Penta, one of
To
the two. No, it was Penta.
somebody.
I think it was Penta because Andrade was the one who pushed the ladder from the outside to make El Gran Americano go.
Oh, okay, okay. um, and then, well, I think this was the first time we had, I mean, the first PLE we had, sponsored tables, because I think we saw that earlier, earlier in the match, and then we saw it again in this match as well. Along with a specialized, sponsored ladder, which was set up by American Made previously, like Cal, uh brought up. It was was that the Fireball one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Fireball is the official
Oh,
drink of heels, apparently.
okay, okay. And that was that the tallest ladder? That was like the tallest ladder that
Yeah,
they
yeah.
had, right?
Yeah, they had another one. I
Yeah.
mean, so they had 2 Fireball ladders and 1 regular ladder that were really super tall.
Okay, okay. Yeah. um and okay, they were kind of doing it though, like in both shows from Worlds Collide and this one. The crowd kept shouting for tables. I'm like, this is a ladder match. Just enjoy the ladders, you know? Uh but tables did make a turnout. Um Okay, and then another one was Andrade doing like a sunset flip off to, I think that also might have been Penta or Chad, off the tall ladder onto a ladder that was set up on the floor. It looked good, but it didn't look like it landed good. And part of he gonna feel that today. He felt that Sunday morning and probably still today. And and as we kind of like expected, with Rollins being out there, of course, we were going to see JC Mateo and Braun Breaker, who do you remember who he speared?
Wait, no. I made the same mistake. It was Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed.
What did I say?
JC Mateo.
Oh, I that's
Remember, I texted you guys. I'm like, this entire time, I thought that was Jeff Cobb, but it wasn't him. It was Bronson Reed. Remember, I was like, I thought Bronson.
Because my mind was going forward to what happened later, and I was like, wait. It is funny that we're not stereotyping them guys, I promise. They just have very similar looks. I'm pretty sure we'll do the same thing with Bronson and Braun because it both have similar names.
Hey, I mix up Sheamus and Cesaro to this day, and Cesaro's not even in WWE anymore, and they look completely different. One has hair and one doesn't. So, like, I don't even know. It's just I don't mix them up like as wrestlers. I just mix up their names because their names are very similar.
Yeah, yeah, and they were a tag team for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like Breaker came out. Like I said, I don't remember who he speared, but he did that same like I don't know if you want to call it like a flip spear, but like when he
El Gran
like,
Americano, I believe.
Yeah, that makes sense. No, I don't know why it cracked me up, but like Seth is like on the side of the ring by the barricade, and he's uh low voice, not screaming for Braun and Bronson to come out. It's like very much in a low voice to where if they weren't like watching the monitor, like kayfabe obviously, but like if they weren't watching the monitor, like just staring directly, they would have known to come out. Because
Right.
like I said, he wasn't screaming like "get them out here," or you don't see like a text from like Heyman going on. But I just thought that I don't know why I just thought that was really funny. But of course, they came out to into chaos, and then I believe it was Solo who was trying to get to the ladder, and then they tried to attack him, but then that would bring out JC Mateo and Jacob Fatu, a lot of like saying it's a syllable. I think it's a syllable of the names of why it's like we get confused sometimes. Because our brain wants we see them in our head, but our brain says another name. They would come out and wreak havoc on I'm just gonna call them Broad Square. And you see Jacob telling no, you see Jacob telling Solo to go up to the ladder, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna be Mr. Money in the Bank. I got it." And then you see Jacob's eyes pan towards Solo, and then he knocks him off to give him the super kick, with then followed by what I call his patented jumping moonsault. And then he did utter the words "I hate you" Solo, right? I didn't
Yeah.
imagine that.
Well, yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, first he said, "I love you, Solo," and helped him get to the top of or start to get into the ladder and all that. Then he said, "I hate you, Solo."
Yeah, and of course, and then I would say if you weren't paying attention to SmackDown, there was a segment between JC and Solo where he's basically saying like, so Jacob was dumb, he not too right in the head, and things like that. And much in like 90s sitcom fashion, you see Jacob coming from the other room like he heard him. I mean, because he heard all of that, which I again thought that was hilarious. But now we set up that probably SummerSlam match coming up for between Jacob and Solo. So I was actually pretty happy to see that because I've been waiting for them to go at it for quite some time. And then we had probably when Cal's heart dropped when LA Knight was coming up to the top to get the belt, and then Seth came in to stop him. And then I believe LA Knight was able to fight Seth off and climb up the ladder again. But again, Seth came in to uh, keep LA off and was able to then retrieve the briefcase. And Seth Rollins is your Money in the Bank winner of 2025. Which I do think was a good decision, given his motive for putting a stable together and for being who he is right now, of taking like Eamon and everyone together. I do think this pushes that stable in the right direction where they need to be, because if they're going to be this dominant faction, they gotta actually go out and they got the dominant part down, right? But now it was like winning matches, getting the belt, and things like that. But yeah, I do, and I think the only other option, well, not the only one, but the other option that I thought would have been fun would have been Grande Americano winning the Money in the Bank, and then at whenever cashing in. And I thought that would have been fun to see. But either way, I do think Seth Rollins was a good choice, given the his motives of what he wants to do.
Okay, for me, there's two people who I didn't want to win this match. One, obviously, is Max Dupree. The other person, actually, in this match, I really didn't want anyone to win. There's no one I really wanted to win this match. But two people who I had the most chance of winning this match, who I did not want to win this match, were Max Dupree and Seth Rollins. And of course, Seth Rollins won. Now, okay, since Seth Rollins won, I can accept it if he beats pre-show Jey Uso tonight. At I hope that's all setting that up. Because usually there's one very quick cash in, then one cash in after a long time. I believe the last time the cash in was like Damian Priest or something, right? And that took a long time, like, to cash in. And the Tiffany Stratton cash in was was it Damian Priest last year? Or was it 2 years ago? Who won Money in the Bank last?
It was last. Yeah, it was last year.
You sure?
Wait, no. Wait. See, now you got me.
No, because like I think didn't Damian win when Liv won and Liv cashed in the same night, and then Damian took a whole year to cash in, and then this time around somebody cashed in the same night, and then Tiffany took a while to cash in.
Yeah. You keep talking. I'm looking at.
Yeah. Because I believe whatever it was. I think usually in one of them somebody cashes in right away, or like within a week or a month. The other one takes like a year to cash in. That's how they usually do it. Anyway.
Why isn't Will here giving us these stats?
What?
I said, where's Will letting us know
yeah.
with this?
Or Joe. Yeah, so yeah. For example, now, if Seth Rollins wins, now that Seth Rollins, if he cashes in tonight on pre-show Jey Uso, that makes it all worth it. But I really didn't care for anyone to win this match. I think the funniest thing to happen for them to win, like Solo could have won it, right? That would have been cool. Then he would have like had another thing to hold on to for a while. But I think the funniest thing that could have happened is if El Gran Americano won it, right? And if
It was McIntyre.
Oh, McIntyre won it,
Yeah.
and then he lost.
He probably got screwed over by Punk or Priest, one of the two.
Yeah, that's probably it. Okay. Okay. So yeah, the best thing to happen is if El Gran Americano won it, right? This would have been hilarious. And then he goes, "I have been called to AAA." So they have a segment where he hands the Money in the Bank briefcase. He goes, "Thank you for all your help. Thank you for bringing me here and giving me all your help." And he gives it to Chad Gable. So they have a segment where Gran Americano hands the Money in the briefcase to Chad Gable and thanks him for bringing him and helping him develop. And now he can go to AAA and avenge Chad Gable. So he can go and avenge Chad Gable and beat Vikingo at whatever the next AAA PLE is or pay-per-view, whatever they call it is. That would have been amazing, right? If Gran Americano won it, they had a segment where he handed the briefcase to Chad Gable, saying, "Thank you for everything. I will go avenge you in AAA. You take this and you make me proud." And that would have been a great segment. And that would have been like the only thing I would have accepted. But now I must accept that Seth Rollins has won, and he hopefully cashes in tonight. And because Jey Uso looked very upset last night or two nights ago, so I'm hoping that means that he's going to lose tonight to either Gunther or Seth Rollins. That's what we can hope for. What do you think of my Gran Americano win scenario?
That actually would have been interesting. Like I said, that would have been one that they really could have fun with. But of course, that did not come to pass. But yeah, that would have been really fun to see them play around with that.
I feel like WWE just signs these people just to have that pop at Royal Rumble. Like, what the hell are they doing with Andrade? Because like when we went to the NXT that one year when we were in Philly, it was him versus Gargano. That was one of the best. I think that one match of the year for like a lot of websites and stuff. That that like they're like he's amazing. Like, why aren't they using him? Like if he was I guess I could have taken him as a Money in the Bank winner too, because I think they said this is like his third or fourth Money in the Bank or whatever it was. So like that would have been cool for him as well, right? So
yeah,
I think TKO I think Triple H wants to do a lot for the fans, right? Like he wants to appease the fans. That's why unfortunately Cody won, like whatever WrestleMania 40 it was, because of the fans, right? The Cody crybabies and all that bullshit. Well, he's trying to do everything for the fans and all that, but I think TKO is also thinking about money and what's going to sell. And I think, and for that sake, thank God, because otherwise, if Triple H went by the fans, Max Dupree probably would have won. So thank God that didn't happen. But like, Seth Rollins is the moneymaker. Jey Uso is for the fans, right? The fans love doing that stupid thing that he does when he comes into the ring and does the up and down stuff. That's so stupid, but the fans love it. They love saying that stupid thing as well. But now it's coming to SummerSlam. You need those big names to headline the PLEs. And I think Seth Rollins is going to be that guy when it comes to the World Heavyweight Championship. But I guess we'll see. All right. Anything else to say about the match before we go to the final finishers?
Nope.
All right, Alicia, give me your low point, your high point, your overall grade.
Yeah, high point I'm giving to the women's Money in the Bank match because I just had so much fun with it. The low point, something we didn't talk about but was very distracting for me were the seats with all the green lighting. I hated that.
I love that. I love that. That's what I love about the arena. It's so it's so cool like that. But go ahead.
No, it was very distracting for me.
I loved it.
And overall grade, I'm just gonna give it a solid A. I think all the matches were pretty fun and very able to get into, and the two, I guess, namesakes of the pay-per-views really delivered. I think, in my opinion. So I think this might be my first A of our season. I think feels like it.
Yeah, I think it is as well. Okay, for me, my low point was Naomi and Seth Rollins winning the Money. So the two winners of Money in the Bank are my low point. My high point, once again, I think that just like last year, the women's Money in the Bank match was better than men's Money in the Bank. I think the best moment, actually, wait, there are two really good moments in the Money in the Bank. For the men, it was when El Gran Americano did the thing where he like flew from one ladder to the other and climbed up and do that. That was pretty cool. But I think the best move of the night, or the best moment of the night, is a double code red or pop rocks, whatever you want to call it, off the top of the ladder. That was amazing. And that's why I think the women's match was better. They had a lot more cool moments with Roxanne doing a lot of it too. So just the winners made the match, made the Money in the Bank PLE lose grade. Both Naomi winning and Seth winning. And I'm kind of a Seth fan. Like, I was more of a fan when he was Kingslayer, like myself, when they named him after me. But I don't know. Like now, like I don't like this whole like singing thing. I don't do the singing either. I don't like that singing. Like I love the singing for his character and the fans get, but I'm not doing it myself. I'm not like, so when I go there, I'm not gonna do the singing. I'm telling you guys right now, I'm not doing the singing for Seth Rollins. I'm not doing the woe for Cody Rhodes. I'm not doing the up and down stupid thing for Jey Uso. I think the only thing I'll do is if the Fireflies come out, like for Bray Wyatt, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do the finger in the air for the Tribal Chief. I think those are the only things I'll do interactive wise when it comes to the fans and the wrestler. I can't think of anything else. Oh, it's clobbering time as well for CM Punk. I'll do that. But I don't think I'm gonna do anything else interactive when it comes to like the wrestlers. 'Cause I can't stand them singing. For Seth, I'll do the singing for Sami Zayn. I like the Sami Zayn, like when they say "Let's go." I like that. But nothing to do for Seth. Nothing to do for Cody. Nothing to do for pre-show Jey Uso. Those are three people I'm not doing anything for. Let it be known now. But yeah, so my overall grade then is going to be a B because I really enjoyed the PLE. So all the matches were great, but the two winners are the reasons why this is going to lose points. I'll give it a B plus. Okay, so because Naomi won, it went to an A minus, and because Seth Rollins won, it went to a B plus. So we'll give it a B plus. It's a solid grade. All right, Glacia. I know you're still having issues with having a laptop, but is there anything you've been working on your phone or anything to make a video or anything else going on?
Yeah, I'm working on it in my head. But I will say there will be some videos coming out throughout the summer, maybe like a little mini run or soft launch, so to speak, to see how it goes. But you can find me on Instagram and on YouTube at Delicia Whitney TV, where we talk about the motherhood lifestyle and recipes and cooking and all that jazz. But still stay tuned. Within the month, I'm gonna try to get something out, at least a like a refresher explanation video out before the next PLE, so that there's something for y'all to tune into after that. If not, it'll be by SummerSlam for sure.
Yeah, and it's funny because I forgot this picture was the last time I was at MetLife. The finisher picture. That was WrestleMania 29 with The Rock versus John Cena Part 2. And I left unhappy, of course, because Rock lost. So the next time I will be there is the next time after you'll see us, because we're not going to be covering the Night of Champions or whatever it's called. Clash, I don't know what they call it. Night of Champions, which is Riyadh. We're not going to be covering Evolve. We're not going to be covering Saturday Night Main Event. So the next time you'll see us is going to be in the beginning of August after SummerSlam, which is a 2-night. I'll be there live. So if you're there, let me know at a time. Hit me up on Twitter or whatever, and I will come to meet you, take a picture, whatever you want to do. Well, not whatever you want to do, because that would be kind of weird. But, whatever, like, within reason, whatever you want to do, let me know. But yeah, I'm excited for that, and we'll be covering it. Remember, it's the first ever SummerSlam that's 2 nights, so Saturday and Sunday, and then we'll be covering it on Monday. So we'll look for an earlier start time, because it's probably going to be like 20 matches or something, and maybe we'll have a special guest or not, because we don't like to cover that many matches by ourselves. So until then, guys, remember, you guys are all idiots, and the secret boss is always right, especially when it comes to what should be happening in the WWE, because Triple H watches the show and should be taking my advice. But TKO is having other issues and superseding that. Until next time, see y'all later.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun. sun rays